Hi and welcome back for the 20th video in the Mouse House series. Miss Mouse needs an umbrella to go with her fancy hat, so let me show you how I did it. I took a bamboo barbecue skewer and cut it into 6.5 centimeter lengths. If you're making more than one umbrella, make sure you carve or sand a point at one end of each piece. Pick out what fabric you want to choose. I suggest thin or cotton fabrics. Don't use a knit or t-shirt material like I originally do for the black umbrella. Make a pattern to trace around by cutting a half circle in paper that measures 13 centimeters across the long straight edge. Cut that out of fabric. Here's a mistake I made you can learn from. Can you tell I was figuring it out as I went along? I'm painting both ends of the sticks with silver paint, but I quickly realised I hated it, and later on I paint them black before repainting the silver over top. This will make a more aged silver look that I wanted. If you're wondering what I'm standing my sticks in while they're drying, it's leftover bits from take-out drink trays that I cut up for the stone fireplace. I had a feeling they'd come in handy one day, and I wasn't wrong. So while the botched paint job is drying, I'm going to use the fabric glue to hem the edge of this silky material just to keep it from fraying. Fold over 1/16 of an inch or 2 millimeters. I used pegs to hold it down until the glue took. I folded the half circle over to find the halfway point and marked the same point on all the pieces. This is where the stick goes later. Next, take a strip of aluminium foil and fold it over several times and trim off the excess. The strip needs to be about 1/16 of an inch or 2 millimeters wide. I picked out some tiny bead caps to use as embellishments later, although you could also use caviar beads or nail art studs. In the meantime, here I am painting the sticks properly. And I like this finish much better after this. The umbrella is going to need a strap to wrap around it, so take a long thin strip of material and fold the fabric over in thirds and secure with fabric glue. This is when I started getting the first hint that the black knit fabric wasn't going to work. It was too thick and wouldn't hold with the glue. So I continued on with the grey strip just fine and wrapped it around a pen to dry. But the silky one just kept fraying and being generally uncooperative, so I decided to use some thin blue velvet ribbon instead, and I also cut some other trim up and coloured it in with a black Sharpie to go with the black umbrella. If you're new to this channel, click subscribe so you don't miss any new uploads. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button and don't forget to leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. Let's start putting things together. Start off with gluing the stick into place where I marked it. Have the pointy end sticking out past the straight edge of the fabric and the straight end only just barely poking past the curve edge of the fabric, if that makes any sense. Spread more glue over the rest of the fabric, try not to get it too thick, and then fold the two halves of the straight edge against the stick. Try to fold and gather the rest of the fabric together, and then while pinching at the pointy end, twist the fabric around the stick a little to get all the pleats going in the same direction. I used a clothes peg to hold it in place while the glue set. Using tacky glue, I glued the foil strip tightly around where the fabric meets the stick at the pointy end and trimmed off the excess. Next, I glued the ribbon tie around the upper part of the umbrella with fabric glue, trimmed off the excess, and I used tacky glue to stick on the tiny bead cap to look like a button. The first two umbrellas worked out great so far, but I really wasn't loving the black knit one, so I found some black cotton fabric and remade it. I used a nail stud for the button embellishment on this one. Now to make the handles. I rolled a thin snake of black polymer clay to the same thickness as the bamboo skewer I used, and used a template sketch I drew to shape and cut each piece to length. Then I round off one end of each piece while keeping the other end flat. With my tiniest ball stylus, I carved a seam line on one side of the handles and added rows of dots on each side of it to look like rows of stitching beside the seam. After baking, dry brush the handles with dark brown, followed by a very light dry brushing with beige to make them look like worn leather. When the paint is dry, give them a coat of clear varnish. Now for a really fiddly bit. Glue the handles to the blunt end of the skewer sticks with contact adhesive, and then glue the aluminium foil strip tightly around the join. This will help reinforce the join as well as adding realistic detail to the umbrella. I used a touch of super glue to secure the end of the foil. And here's the final reveal, a beautiful collection of tiny 12th scale umbrellas for Miss Mouse. I'm sure she'll love them. My next video is out in 2 weeks. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss out. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye!